Hi everyone, today's video is going to be an update on my Pan That palette, and if you don't know, I am panning the Lorac Beauty and the Beast Taylor's Oldest Time. Just whacked myself in the face with it. Taylor's Oldest Time palette. So I started this on January 15th. Today is March 15th, so I've been panning this palette for 2 months. And here is the progress. So if you remember last month I had a few goals. I wanted to hit pan on the shade Enchanting, which I do now have pan on. So now I have pan on 2 of the 16 shades. I wanted to create a dip in the shade Chip In, which I have done. And I also wanted to create a big dip in the shade Inner Beauty, which I've kind of done. So I'm going to go ahead and go through each shade and we'll talk about it. So first we have the shade Dream It. I'm not going to swatch it because I feel like that would just get repetitive, but I have done a full product review of this palette and I'll link that below, as well as my Project Pan playlist, so you can like get updated with all of my pans, including this one. But Dream It is a beautiful white shimmery shade. I used it on the inner corner. However, I am currently panning a white shimmery shade for my 17 by St. Pat's. St. Pat's is in 2 days. So then I will be focusing more on this one. Next, we have the shade Timekeeper, which is like a taupey shimmer shade. This is nice on the lid, though it is a little bit dark. Then we have the shade Our Guest, which is actually what's in my crease today. You can see that it's a nice shade. It's very gray, but it is patchy. It's also under my lower lash line. It's kind of like expanding. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of this shade. Then we have the shade Empress, which is like a beautiful like purpley shade. It's very interesting. Big fan. Then we have Beast Mode, which I have used a few times. Oh, I use this in the outer corner. I had hit pan on this before I started this Project Pan, but that's Pan That palette, but I have expanded this pan as well. Then we have Enchanting. Again, I just hit pan on this, and it is what's on my lid today, and Beast Mode's what's in my outer corner. Then we have Swept Up. I like to use this as my liner, and I actually have this as my liner today. Then we have the shade Enchanting, which I use, Look Beyond. I like to use that in my crease, and there is a little dip in that shade. Then we have the shade My Castle, which is a beautiful like shimmery bronze. Again, it's a little bit hard to work with. I like it in the like outer V, but it's so shimmery. It's kind of, I prefer it on the lid, like this kind of shimmery shades, but it's too dark for the lid, so it's kind of weird. Then we have Chip In. I use it as like a brow bone highlight under my eyes, down the center of my nose, and there's a huge dip in there. Then we have Romance, which is similar to Empress, although it's kind of another matte dark shade, but this is a more red. Empress is a little more purple. Then we have Spellbreaker, which is a blue with some glitter. The glitter doesn't show up, neither does it in Swept Up, and I also use this as like a brown liner. So if I want a black liner, I use Swept Up. If I want a brown liner, I use Spellbreaker. We have Inner Beauty, and I use this as a crease shade every day. But y'all, there's like barely any progress. This shade is super hard packed. As with a lot of Lorac shades, they're kind of powdery and stuff, but not Inner Beauty. So this one's going to be in for a long time. Then we have Tea Time. Tea Time is similar to Dream It, though it's a little more taupey. I like it on the lid. Then we have TikTok. It's got a pretty decent sized dip. I also use that in the crease. In general, I use either Look Beyond or TikTok in my crease, depending on if I'm doing a cool or a warm tone look. And I will say that Look Beyond gets a little more brown when you actually put it on as opposed to this yellow. And last we have the shade Real You, which is this like glittery pink. So I'm still really enjoying using this palette. I still have a lot of looks. And I feel like I've gotten some good progress. I've got 2 pans. This is my only eyeshadow palette that has 2 pans in it. I've got a big dip. So for next month, I would like to create a dip in the shade Dream It, because I'll be able to focus on this as my inner corner highlight every single day. I would like to create a larger dip in TikTok and Look Beyond, because again, those are my 2 crease shades. I would also like to create a visible dip in Swept Up and Spellbreaker. You can see that I've been using them, but I don't feel like there's an actual dip, so I'd like to create a dip in both of those. And a bigger dip in Inner Beauty, because again, I've been using it every day, and there's a slight dip, but it's not very big. And I'd like to be able to hit pan on Chip In. So I'm hoping I have 1 more pan, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more dips. If I could do all of that, that would be great. I also have decided, because I don't just want to hit pan and not kind of ignore them, I want to finish this whole palette. So I want to kind of try to focus more on these. And anytime I do an update, I have to use the colors that I've hit pan in. Unless I like hit pan all 16, I can't put 16 shades on my eyes. But as long as there's only a few that I've hit pan in, I have to use those. So then I'm at least using them. I said this in my intro, but just in case you're new to my personal Pan That palette, I'm not necessarily trying to finish this in a year. If I could finish this in the year, that would be awesome. But I'm just trying to finish this up. So I'm using it a lot. I pull it out every day. Literally every single day I have something from this palette on my face. So there we go. This is 2 months of use from the Lorac Beauty and the Beast Taylor's Oldest Time palette. I will be updating y'all again on March 14th. That was yesterday. On April 15th. So there's that. I'm really excited about it. I hope you are too. I'm really loving this palette. I know that it's only been 2 months, but I was kind of terrified to do a Pan That palette, if we're being honest, because I was just like, I can't focus on just one palette. I'm never going to be okay with that. But I'm really enjoying it and having a good time. So there you go. So as always, if you have any questions, requests, suggestions, comments, go ahead and link those down below. Talking to y'all is one of my favorite things about doing YouTube, so I'd love to hear from you. And if there's a video you want to see, I want to make it. So with that, I'll see y'all real soon. Bye.